Welcome to Unleash the Awesome with Dave Gambrill. All of us have unique skills, talents, and abilities that aren't being used to their full potential. Our mission is to share the people, tools, apps, and other resources that will help you unleash your awesome on the world.
Yo, what's up? It's Dave. Welcome to another episode of Unleash the Awesome. Today, let's talk about how you can do free market research, leveraging the power of Amazon, Google, Facebook, YouTube, and more. So one of the biggest problems I see for people who are starting new businesses, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, folks like that, is they go and read this really popular book called Blue Ocean Strategy, which is a great book. But the whole premise behind it is that you should go create something that's out in a blue ocean, meaning there's not competition, like you're creating something new. That's great for companies that are well-funded or have venture capital or something like that. But for solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, people that are bootstrapping, getting their side hustle on, that's a quick path to death of your business. You will drown in that blue ocean. Here's why. There's not people already spending money on the problem, right? So the solution you bring to market is so novel, even if it's good, people don't get it. They don't understand it. And so you have to spend a lot of time, effort, and energy that you don't have, frankly, and money that you don't have to try to engage a market. I'm sure you've seen the show Shark Tank, where people bring on some really good, neat, innovative ideas, and the sharks might say, that's great, but I'm not sure people are spending any money on this problem right now. So unless you have the funding to do that, like this is not ready to go yet. Like sometimes ideas are too soon. Ideas are ahead of their time because the market hasn't matured or there isn't a market for that thing yet. And so one of the things you have to do if you're getting started in this space, instead of swimming all the way out into the blue ocean where nobody is, you have to kind of go in what my friend Stephen Larson calls the purple ocean, right? And the reason they call it this is because there's no sharks feeding in the blue ocean, right? And you don't want to go in the red ocean because that's where all the sharks are feeding. And obviously the red is from all the blood of the people that are trying to enter the market and getting eaten alive. So you kind of have to find a purple ocean, right? It has to be a little bit outside of what everybody else is doing, enough to be different, right? You have to differentiate yourself, but you still have to go in an area where there are essentially sharks. There are people that are trying to spend money or are spending money on solving the problem that you're helping them solve. So in order to do that, you have to do market research. And market research can be expensive. Like a lot of times you don't have the time, effort, money, whatever to do focus groups and things like that. So there's a couple really easy strategies I got for you today. If you want to do deeper dives on this stuff, check out the books from my friend Ryan Levesque. There's one called Ask, A-S-K, and one called Choose. I'll make sure I put the links in the show notes for you there. But he goes into much greater detail on the stuff. I'm just going to give you the superficial kind of thumbnail, which will help you at least see if you have a proof of concept, right? If your thing is on the right track. So the first thing is this. The idea that you have. Write down some of the ideas and the traits of the idea. If you can do single words, that would be great. Some of the good things about it, some of the bad things about it, some of the words used to describe the problem that's being solved. And then go to Amazon. Go to Amazon.com and look up using those search terms for the problem that you're solving or your solution or whatever. Look up the top 10 books in those categories. Okay, look up the top 10 best-selling books. Then what you want to do is look at the 5-star reviews. And again, what I would do is I would create a Microsoft Word document or Google document or whatever, and I would copy and paste some of these reviews into them. Okay, so look at the positive ones, like the 5-star reviews for 10 of these books, and copy and paste a few of the 5-star reviews into a document. Look at some of the 1-star reviews and copy and paste some of those reviews in a separate, different document. Okay, so you have a document that has good reviews, a document that has bad reviews. Go through that for 10 of the most popular books in the category for whatever it is you do. Trying to teach people how to buy stocks or how to roller skate or how to raise alpacas. I don't know what it is you do, but whatever it is, find the books that are related to those things. Here's the problem. Again, if there are no books for that thing, you might be too soon. You might be too early. There might not be a market for your thing. You might be too weird or too different or too strange. So that could actually be a problem. So hopefully you're going to find books. Hopefully you'll find 10 of them that have sold, at least a few hundred, if not a few thousand or more copies, and create these 2 documents. Okay, now you have these 2 documents, one with good reviews, one with bad reviews. Go to a site that does word clouds. There's a lot of free sites out there. Maybe I'll look one up and try to pop it in the show notes for you. But basically what word clouds do is they take a list of words. Again, you could use your documents. That's what we're going to do with it. You put a bunch of words into the little word cloud generator, and it will create a word cloud where the words that are used the most often will show up biggest and boldest in the word cloud. And then all the other words will be in there as well. So what I want you to do is take the positive reviews, pop them into a word cloud, and see if there are themes or ideas or words that bubble to the top. Okay, see what those things are. Do the same thing with the negative reviews. Now you have the things that people really like and care about, and the good things that they like about the problem or the situation or the solution that you want to be a part of. And you have some words that describe the negative aspects of that, or inversely, some words that people use to describe what they really want to see in the solutions for this thing, right? That's what a lot of times negative reviews will say. It's like, this is too basic, or we need more information on that, or whatever. So now you have some keywords. Now you have some things that people are concerned about. And this, again, hasn't really cost you anything other than some time to go research on Amazon. Okay, so you have your words, you have your word cloud, and now you have somewhere to start beginning it. And remember, too, that human beings in general are trying to do at all times one of 2 things: get away from pain or move towards pleasure. That's it. Get away from pain or move towards pleasure, or maybe stay in a status quo situation if you're in the middle and you're fine and you're happy there. But generally speaking, people do that. And in most times, going after the pleasurable things is where you can make your money. So advertising the moving towards pleasure makes most sense. Now, in the situation we find ourselves in here in 2020, and there's a lot of pain in the world, there has been some move a little bit in advertising to talk about how some of the things that you have could help people move away from pain. Also big in an election cycle like we have here in the United States right now. So, you have to decide what market you're in, what makes more sense for you. But now you have both those categories, the good things and the bad things. And now you have some stuff to work with, right? You've confirmed that people are spending money on this, they're buying books on this, and here are the things they want and they want to see. These words will also help you when you write your emails, when you write the subject lines of your emails, when you write your copy. Because one of the most powerful things you can do as a business owner and a copywriter is to enter the conversation that is already happening in the minds of your prospects and your customers. Let me say that again. If you want to be really successful in business, one of the best things you can do is learn how to get in the conversation that is already happening in the minds of your prospects and your customers. And now you have the words, you have the vocabulary that your prospects and customers are already using. And so you can start weaving this stuff again into your marketing, into your Facebook ads, whatever it is you're doing, your copywriting. Okay, so now you have something super powerful. Now, if you want to take things to the next level, there is a website, and I think it's called Answer the Public. Let me double check that real fast. Yes, answerthepublic.com, all one word. I will put that in the show notes for you as well. That is like a mega search engine where now you can take some of these words that you have from your word cloud and pop them into this machine, if you will, this artificial intelligence thing. Now you can do a bunch of free searches and then they're going to charge you or want you to upgrade to premium, but for free you can do a couple searches. So take your most popular ones. I don't know what the limit is, but take the ones that you think are going to be the most popular for you, a couple of the positive, maybe a negative one, and run it through Answer the Public and wait till you see the awesome information that you get. You'll get all kinds of other words and thoughts and things that people are thinking about this subject that you put in there. You get, I don't think they have a word cloud, but they have like a mind map in there, all kinds of good stuff. So that's a good resource for you. You could also now take these words that you have and pop them into Google. Use the Google autocomplete feature as you're searching in Google. So you type in whatever your problem is, like, what is the best way to get my child to sleep at night, sleep through the night, or whatever. as you start typing in those things, as you start typing in these words, as you start typing in these verbatims that you got from these reviews, see how Google auto-completes it. Sometimes they auto-complete it with other questions that you might want to add to your research. Sometimes they'll complete it with solutions or products that already exist that you might want to go take a peek at and do some competitive intelligence, if you will. So use Google. Again, Amazon, super powerful, recommendation engine and algorithms and things like that. Use it to your advantage. Google, biggest search engine in the world. Use it to your advantage. Go in and use the autocomplete feature and see what happens. Do that with some of these keywords and themes. You can do the same thing on YouTube, the second biggest search engine in the world. Pop in some of those things, pop in some of those questions, pop in some of those words, pop in some of those themes. See what kind of videos you get. See what pops up. See if there's any themes there. See if there's anything missing. And you can do the same thing over on Facebook, where you can look at people who are maybe in your same market. Let's say you're a speaker, a trainer, a coach, a consultant, somebody like that, a leadership consultant, and you want to look at some people in the market that may be similar. I would go look at people like Renee Brown, John Maxwell, Tony Robbins, Brendan Burchard, maybe Rachel Hollis, people like that, Trent Shelton. I would look at people like that, and I would look in their Facebook pages, their business pages on Facebook, if they've ever done Facebook Lives, or they have threads in there with lots of questions and comments, or things that have been upvoted, or people that have liked a bunch of the questions or concerns or answers that people gave in the comments. Look at those things. Look what's trending. Look what people are asking those people. Look what answers they're providing. Look what solutions they're providing. Look at all of those things. Now, through the power of Amazon, Google, YouTube, Facebook, and you could keep doing this if you want. You could do it on Twitter. You could do it a whole bunch of other places. But at some point, you have to stop researching and do some work, put some of this stuff into action. But now you should have a pretty good idea what the problem is, a more clearly defined problem that you have, what people think about that problem, what they're doing to solve that problem, some of the products that already exist for that, some of the books that already exist for that, what the people who are already spending money to solve this problem, what they think, what the words they use, and now you can get in their head a little better. So maybe after doing all of this research, you've discovered that the thing that you're going to offer is a perfect fit. But now, instead of using the words and stuff that you were going to use, because you are not your customer, remember that. Sometimes we create things to scratch our own itch or solve our own problem, but to communicate that to the world is much different. But now, through all this research, you have the words, you have the themes, you have the questions, the things that are on these people's minds. You can now use all of that in your marketing, and then obviously you want to test it. So if you're going to run ads, obviously you want to run the ads and look at the metrics on that. If you're going to build out sales pages, landing pages, funnels, you might want to split test or A/B test those things. When you're going to write emails, you might want to test different subject lines, based on some of the words that you've come across here or big themes you come across. But now at least you know that you're not out there in a totally blue ocean trying to tread water and just survive, that you are now in a purple ocean, that you are in a situation where people spend money on this stuff and you can help solve that problem. And now you're much better equipped after doing this research for the last few minutes on how to get in the conversation that is already happening in your prospects and your customers' minds, which will certainly set you up for success. If you have never done this exercise, I recommend that you turn this podcast off right now and go do it as soon as possible. If you have done this exercise, but you've not done it in a while, I would recommend that you go redo it, because things are changing very quickly, especially this year. There's a lot of big things happening in the world and things are evolving and changing. So if you've not revisited this, you may want to go check it. And if you've done it and you've done it recently, I would ask you to go back and look at some of the key things and make sure the things that you learned are working their way into your marketing, into your outreach campaigns, into your emails, because it doesn't make sense to do all this work and not use it. So if you've done it, go back and make sure that you're using this stuff in your marketing. Okay, so that is how you can do free market research, leveraging the power of Amazon, Google, Facebook, YouTube, and a whole bunch of other things. Answer the Public, a whole bunch of other sites. So go do that so that if you're building a business, as you're building a side hustle, if you're bootstrapping, whatever it is you're doing, you can use what we just learned today to unleash your awesome and the awesome of your business on the world. Okay, so until next time, go do this research and unleash your awesome on the world. See ya.
Thanks for listening to Unleash the Awesome. Please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review wherever you listen to your podcasts. And please share us on your favorite social media platforms using #UnleashAwesome.